it doesn't feel real. That's the first thing I thought when it was all just a rumor at first. I was like, no. It doesn't feel real. But it's real. This video is just, I know pretty much all there is to know up until this point. So this video is just going to be me sharing my thoughts on the whole matter. So we all already know what kind of happened, but just for those of you who might not fully know, I'm just going to let you know based on what I've read. So the Sony Disney deal partnership has ended. And because of that, Tom Holland's Spider-Man is no longer in the MCU. God, that hurts to say. It literally hurts to say that. It's like those words don't even go together in a sentence. So this is what really went down from what I've read. Now, at first, it started off Tuesday morning. It started off as a rumor. And it quickly blew up all over the internet. Then Wednesday morning, it was confirmed by Sony. Sony released, a statement on their Twitter saying, this is what Sony said. But we all know this isn't really why. This is just kind of a BS PA statement by Sony. Sony released a statement saying, to sum it up, they said that Kevin Feige would no longer be involved in the Spider-Man movies because he's too busy with everything else going on in Phase 4, all the other properties, all the new movies, plus the Disney Plus shows. Now that's BS. That statement is BS, and it's not true. It's BS because Kevin Feige has always had his plate full for a while now with properties. All the different Marvel movies, and he still managed to weave Spider-Man into the mix. So, no, that's BS that Kevin has a full plate and can't, handle Spider-Man while doing these other properties. Especially since he and Marvel Studios were setting Spidey up to be such a huge and integral part of the MCU in Phase 4 going forward. So that statement by Sony is BS. It's false because it's false, and that's not the real reason why Sony and Disney split. The real, what I've heard at least, is it was a money issue. And that's no surprise. Of course it was a money issue. From what I've heard, Disney asked Sony to share the co-finances for the Spider-Man films 50-50. Sony's been getting most of the profit off of the Spider-Man movies. And then, Disney, Marvel, they make their money off of the comics, toys, all the merchandise based off the film. But, Far From Home made over $1 billion in the box office. It's the highest grossing Spider-Man film of all time, and it's now Sony's highest grossing film of all time. So, that's pretty big. So, Disney asked Sony to split the co-finances of the films 50-50. Sony said no. And that was basically it. They split ways. From what I've heard, that's what really went down. The thing about Kevin's plate being too full with all the other properties, that's BS, because he's had his plate full with all these other movies and weaved Spider-Man into the MCU. And at the same time, the cliffhanger of Far From Home and, Infinity War and Endgame, Spider-Man was being set up to be such a major player in the MCU by Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios. So, no, Feige and Marvel Studios had big plans for Spider-Man in the MCU, so it's BS, that statement that Sony made. And the money issue is really what happened. So now we're at this point where, well, whose fault is it? Is it Sony's or Disney's? Now, I already know there's going to be people in the comments saying, oh, you're an MCU fanboy, MCU sheep. Go ahead, whatever. I don't care, because I'm not. But I know there's going to be comments like that, and honestly, I just don't care. So, go ahead and say whatever you want. So, this is my thoughts on the matter and who's to blame. In all honesty, I think it's both of them are a bit to blame. I'm more pissed off at Sony though. Definitely. This is ridiculous. And that PA statement was ridiculous. I'm not mad at Disney, but with Disney, for me, it's like, when your friend does something stupid or does something maybe he shouldn't have done, but he's your friend, he's your boy, and you're like, you just shouldn't have done that. Maybe you just shouldn't have done that. I don't know. Why'd you do that? That's how I am with Disney right now, with them asking Sony for 50% of the finances of the Spider-Man films. On one hand, can you blame them for asking for 50%? I mean, hey, Sony does own the rights to Spider-Man. But Spider-Man did start off as a Marvel character. It's because of Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige and the MCU that Tom Holland's Spider-Man is as successful as it is. That he's been in 5 films. It's because of him being able to do these crossovers and interacting with other heroes in the same universe as to why he's as popular as he is. So Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios made him as popular as he is. Tom Holland's iteration. They did all that work. Can you blame them for asking for 50%? And when it originally is Marvel's character anyway? So on a personal level, I don't blame, I don't blame them for asking for 50%. But then on a business level, you have to understand that, Disney, Marvel Studios, they're already making lots of money off of the merchandise and toys, comics, based off of the films. Along with the small cut of the film, I believe. Sony is getting most of their profit from this character from the films. So from a business standpoint, it's like, Disney, why'd you do that? Why'd you ask for that much of the profits when you're already getting profits from these other things based off of the film? So it's a business, so you can look at it from a personal standpoint and a business standpoint in terms of Disney asking for 50%. You can look at it 2 ways. And then on Sony's side, honestly, it's just that they're really greedy, and they think they can do this character without Marvel Studios or Kevin Feige or the MCU. Now, if it wasn't Tom Holland's version that wasn't intertwined into the MCU, then maybe they'd have a higher success of being able to do this. But this Spider-Man is so interconnected with this universe that just stripping him away and trying to do another film with this version of the character without him being in this universe, without being to mention or talk about anything from that universe, how are you supposed to do that? I don't know. And I don't think Sony knows either. But this is just something that happened because it's business. It happened because of money. So there's just multiple different ways to look at it. So who's to blame? In my opinion, the way I see it, both sides aren't fully looking at, the fans, people who love these movies, and of course, they're companies, so of course they want to make profit. That's what they're thinking about. But at the same time, Disney or Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige, they do care more about this character, and they care more about doing this character justice and making the fans happy than Sony cares about that. Sony just cares about making profit off of this character because this character is Sony's their highest property, pretty much, or their highest grossing property. I think we can all agree that that's pretty much fact. That's Spider-Man is Sony's top moneymaker. So what I don't want to happen is to see Tom Holland's Spider-Man be joined into Sony's Venomverse and all this BS. I don't want to see that happen. It just sucks what greed and money can do, doesn't it? It just doesn't feel real. I remember when I was still kind of getting into the MCU and seeing Spider-Man in the Civil War trailer, and I was like, okay, this is cool, but I wasn't a huge hardcore fan, and I didn't fully understand how important it was seeing that Spider-Man was actually in the MCU and that it happened and how big of a deal that was. And now we're all the way to here where now he's being taken out of the MCU. This is bad for both parties, for Sony and Disney. It's bad for both of their films going forward. Well, more bad for Disney's films, Marvel films going forward than Sony's Marvel films. It's just crazy. I don't know. Like I said, who do I think is to blame? Well, I think Sony's being greedy and think that they can do this character well on their own without Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige and everything that they've done to this iteration of the character. And then on the same hand, I'm looking at Disney personally, I don't blame them for asking for 50% of co-finances for the film, but then from a business standpoint, it's like you shouldn't have done that because you're already making loads of money off of all this merchandising from stuff based off the film, and now you're asking for 50% of the film, which is of finances from the film, which is how Sony's making most of their money from this character. I think both of them are to blame a little bit. I'm definitely more upset at Sony, and I'm just disappointed that this all had to happen because of greed and money. And I hope there can be I hope they can come back to the table and come to some sort of agreement. Maybe, and it's like the damage has been done. You know, it isn't like Disney can undo them asking for 50%. It isn't like they can undo that. Like, the damage has been done. So I'm just hoping they can come back to the table and make some sort of agreement. I don't know what kind of agreement it would be. I just want to see this character in the MCU. The future Spider-Man films made by Sony will involve John Watts as director, will involve Tom Holland as Spider-Man, but it won't be in the MCU. So I won't be watching them. If all this does stick where it is now and continues to go into fruition, and there continues to be 2 more Spider-Man films that are not set in the MCU, as much as I love Tom Holland, I'm not going to watch them. I'm not going to watch Sony's Spider-Man films after what they've done. I kind of almost don't even want to play PlayStation anymore, and I'm PlayStation for life. Kind of don't even want to play PlayStation anymore. Kind of want to switch to Xbox. I don't even want to watch. I don't even want to watch the re-release anymore of Far From Home, which is what I was planning to do because it includes, some new footage. I kind of don't even want to watch the re-release anymore. It's like I don't even want to support Sony after what they've done. I mean, I get it's just Sony Pictures, but things like this make the company as a whole look bad. Well, where we're currently at, Tom Holland's Spider-Man is no longer in the MCU. Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige no longer have any involvement. And this is not because of Sony's statement saying that Kevin's too involved with other properties and doesn't have time for Spider-Man. It's because of money and greed. It's because of money on Disney's part and because of greed on Sony's part. And those things caused a beloved and one of, if not the most popular comic book character to be stripped away from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This day extracts a heavy toll. Let me know what you guys think about, though. I definitely want to know. It's one of the reasons I did this video in the first place. I've seen what lots of other people think, but I want to know what you guys, my subscribers, think of this. So let me know what you guys think down below. Give me your thoughts on this whole thing. I'll definitely be reading the comments. And that's pretty much all I have to say. It just really sucks. It doesn't feel real. I hope Disney and Sony can come back to the table and make some sort of agreement to be able to keep Tom Holland playing Spider-Man in the MCU. Let me know what you thought of the video down below in the comment section. Links for all my social media will be down below in the description box. Smash the like button. Share this video with anyone who you feel would enjoy. If you are new around here and you like what you see, tap the subscribe button to join the Mad Alliance on our journey to 100,000 subscribers, and ding on the notification bell to be notified of when I upload a new video. It's Joe, aka Mad Joe FC. I hope you all have a marvelous day. Mad out. And that's the video. Mad. Strong. Together.